Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really well. Today is, I'm going to try something different. ちょっと違うね、のを試してみたいと思います。I said to many people, including foreign people. By foreign people, I mean non-Japanese people. Please join me for this YouTube live because I'm going to give you a test on Japanese culture ということでね、外国人の人にも参加していただいて、ね。So, let me know who you are and tell me where you are coming from. Okay, so this is my Kahoot. It's like a Kahoot platform, and I'm going to give you a test by clicking on this. I made this test. このテスト作りました。I have about 10 questions related to Japan. もう一回はっきり言いますと、related to Japan. これに答えていただくことで、はい。ちょっとチーム名を書いてみたいと思います。これどうしようかな。どうしよう。何にしておきますかね。外国人の方がいいですね。non-Japanese. Yeah. どうしよう。Atlantic Oceans side. Atlantic Ocean の近く。Okay. Pacific Ocean. 太平洋の近く。で、日本人の人はここにしときますかね。Japanese people here. ということで、この3つでですね、参加して、見えてなかったですね。ちょっと待ってくださいね。Stop screen, present, share screen. これです。Okay. If you can join me. 3種類の、ね、人を想定しております。Okay? 3 types of people I'm expecting. はい。If you live somehow, you feel near Pacific Ocean. Okay? Pacific Ocean. And you are not Japanese. Join us from here to this team. Okay? If you are near Atlantic Ocean, join the red team. Okay. If you're Japanese, please join me or join us, Japanese people. 今ちょっと英語で日本人として英語を喋っていて難しい点なんですけど、This is something that kind of we Japanese people have difficulty with English. 例えば、I wanted to say join us って言いたかったんですけど、思わず join me って言ってしまう感じですね。Okay. なんか電車とかでこう混んでるとこを通るとき when we go through the crowded train, how to say crowd, I think the correct way, if I'm with my wife, for example, I have to say excuse us. でも日本人なんで excuse me って言ってしまうというかね。Yeah. All right, thanks for joining. Pacific team includes Nick, seriously, Freddie.We don't have anybody for Atlantic Ocean side. So I'm going to have to wait until at least one person or two show up, maybe. 見てみたいと思いますね。Let's read comment. Let's 今の複数形ので言った方がいいですよね。Let's read comments. ね、comment って言ったらなんかの名称みたいに聞こえてしまうっていう感じですね。例えば、リンゴを買いましょう。ね、Let's buy an apple って言ったらいいんですけど、それを間違って Let's buy apple って言ったら、なんかアップル社っていう会社を買うとか、アップル社の株を買うみたいな感じになってしまう。それと同じで、Let's read comment って言ったらちょっと変な感じがするね。Let's read comments. それがね、英語はちょっと日本人にとって難しいです。For Japanese people, singular, plural, it's a little tricky.It's Nori US morning. Kaz-san, it's here. Thank you. Yes, please join us. Freddie. Okay. And Patrick-san, good morning. And you are not Japanese. You can join us. You already joined. Thank you. Fumika Oka, good morning. Good morning. It's clearly cloudy this morning in Hachioji City, Tokyo. The temperature is 6 degrees. Thanks for sharing your YouTube live streaming. You are welcome. And thank you very much for waking up and watching this thing. And today, これね、この下にリンク貼っておきますけども、私の Discord というプラットフォームがありまして、そこでね、たくさんの外国人の人と日本の人の人が集まってくれているんで、それですね。はい。ここで今パッとリンク落としたらいいんですけど、たまたま Discord にこの PC から I don't know if I can enter Discord from this PC in front of me.Because I forgot my password for it. ですね。Atlantic Ocean side, nobody is around. ちょっと待ってみたいと思います。今日は、外国人の人も対象にして、クイズ大会ということで。で、日本人の皆さんにとっては、for Japanese people, because I will be speaking English. ね、英語の勉強というか、なんか英語で遊んでるという感じだね。はい。For Japanese people, this will be a test of your knowledge about Japanese culture. Okay. Nobody's from Atlantic Ocean side. Okay. So I think that's okay. Hopefully, if you are looking at this right now, after this program right now it's 8:11 a.m. November 26th.2023、Japan time、その場合は、try to answer questions on your own. And then in case somebody else joins me later, or somebody else joins us later. そういうのがね、英語で難しいっていうかね、まず join me って言ってしまう。Does that make sense to you guys if you are learning Japanese? For us, distinction between singular and plural is kind of ambiguous because we are not really counting. というか、大人として日本語を喋るときにあんまりそのイメージをしてないと思うんですよ、頭の中で。We're not really imagining or picturing the view.that you are describing in Japanese. だから単数形 singular、複数形、plural の違いがなんかぼんやりambiguous、してしまうと。ぼんやりしてしまう。ambiguous というか kind of like、we're not thinking about it みたいなね。clearly って感じでしょうか。If you can join us、like this.If you join us later in the program, you can go to kahoot.it and put 591-3291 ということです。I'll be asking you questions about Japan, and it's kind of obvious that Japanese people will be doing really well. You guys will be doing really well, but that's okay. Just,普通に答えていただいたらね、どうしても日本人の人の方が点数が高くなりますが、あんまり気にせずに行ってみたいと思います。トリビアクイズみたいな感じで、トリビア。なんかこう、英語でトリビアってあるんですよ。なんかいろんなことを質問するみたいなね。Misako is from Hino City, Tokyo.すごい。Okay, thank you. それでは行ってみたいと思いますが、よろしいでしょうか。Okay, 今日は、this is、my first attempt. だから、外国人の人があんまり見てくれてないかもしれないんですけども、次回からね、この録画版を見ていただいて、after you see this video, maybe you'll be joining us next time ということでやってみたいと思います。それからですね、外国人の人の場合は、地球のいろんなところに住んでいる foreign people, I should say non-Japanese people. Let me say that again, non-Japanese people. The reason why I repeat it myself, ちょっとこう、 when I hear myself being not so clear, I said, I wanted to repeat, non-Japanese people ですよ。はい。それ言ってみたいと思います。Alright, let's see. Japanese culture one ですね。今日1番目ですので行ってみたいと思います。Quiz, you have to press immediately when you know the answer. So, in Japan, when you touch something really hot, you will touch your 何か with the finger that's being affected. なんかこう、コーヒー熱いって、ちょっと触って熱っつって、熱い、ね。はい、どこ触るでしょうということで、yellows ということでね。二人の方が nose とおっしゃいました。つまり、熱っ nose じゃなくて、熱っってこんな感じですね。この、by the way, earlobe というのは、earlobe ですね。earlobes は、耳たぶ。日本語では耳たぶと言います。Am I right about that? I think so. 耳たぶですよね。Okay. あんまり言わないので、we don't really, あんまり言わないじゃないですね。あんまり使わない。We don't really say that word all the time, so I got confused a little bit. 次、これはね、はい。はい、どうしても Japanese people are high up there because we kind of obviously know that. Pacific Ocean side の皆さん頑張ってください。Seriously, Freddie and Nick, try your best. Okay? コメントもね、コメントをね、いただくときにね、私が例えば、なんか日本語のこう、アドバイスするときに、それをね、メモしていただいたらものすごい嬉しいです。例えば、earlobes って書いて、耳たぶとかね。そしたら、後で外国人の人たちが、見てくれるときに、参考になるというか。Let's try the second question. In Japanese, we call beginners, newbies, novices って読むんですか ?Do you say this novices, novices, maybe? Novices, green butt, blue butt, black butt, yellow butt. どれでしょうか、ね、まだまだケツが、はい。はい、その通りです。It's a little hard, maybe, for, blue butters. ケツが青い。ただね、青い blue in old Japanese, like my grandpa's generations Japanese. なんかうちのおじいさんの時代はね、昔、おじいさん大正時代に生まれましたけども、緑のことも青って言ってたんですよ。Old Japanese people, like really, really old people. I think they confuse blue and green. だからケツが青いって言った時にね、微妙に緑と青の中間ぐらいじゃないかなと思うんですよ。ねちょっと見てみましょう。Okay. Nick and Sears Freddy. まだ正解が出ていないですけどね。And the reason why we say、the butt is blue. なぜ、ケツが青いっていうかというと、日本人は、そして中国人とか韓国人も、朝鮮人も同じだと思うんですよ。I think this is the same for Japanese people, Koreans and Chinese. 生まれた時に as a baby we have like a big bruise on the butt. ちょっと待って、bruise ですね。I'm sorry, I said blues. Blues is a type of music. What I meant was bruise ですね。R ですね。ケツが青いと。なんかお尻がね、青いんですよ。青って言っても、it's not like really, really clear blue. なんかこう、あざみたいな感じでお尻が。そしてそのことをモンゴル斑って言うんですかね。Mongoloid mark, I think. ですよね、皆さん。You guys agree with me? ちょっとこうメモしといていただけますか。赤ちゃんで生まれた時にケツが青いんですよ。ちょっと。You guys knew this? で、他の、このあたりですね。日本とか朝鮮とか。モンゴル藩っていうぐらいですから、多分モンゴルのあたりまでそうなのかもしれないですけども、シンガポールとかあの辺、もう中国人多いんで、フィリピンとかどうなんですかね。If you guys know anything about the、other countries, let me know about this. はい。ケツが青いって言うんですよ。で、その、お尻の the butt mark will eventually disappear. なんですが、人によって depending on a person, depending on a kid、ね、depending on っていうのは何々によってっていうことですよ、皆さん、日本人の皆さん。I want this program to be useful for Japanese people and also non-Japanese people ということで、人によってその青い、お尻の青いのが消えるのがね、いつ消えるかが違うんですよ。例えば、I think I probably lost it、maybe when I was a fourth grader, maybe. で、some kids continue to have 青いお尻 for a long time. I think some of my cousins probably had it until they are in middle school. The problem is 6年生の時に when you are a sixth grader in Japan, 修学旅行に行くんですよ。We have a probably the biggest school trip.You usually you always go overnight. そしたら一緒にお風呂に入るんですよね。そしたら、kids take、public bath or hotel bath together. 今のよかった。もう一回、ちょっと、let me repeat that. Kids use a hotel bath together. It's like a huge, right? そしたら、お尻がまだ青かったらちょっと恥ずかしい。It's a little kind of...You feel embarrassed if your butt is still blue、by sixth grade. So I think it can be traumatic for a small number of kids who continue to have、this thing. But I don't think this problem exists in other parts of the world. But、I want to know in what other countries you have this、blue butt. It's almost like a green butt, I think.But I think in English too, is there a specific color that represents、beginner? 日本は自動車を運転するときに if you are a new driver, you have a 若葉マーク、young leaf mark. And that young leaf, あれ、緑と黄色でしたっけ? I think it's green and yellow. So I believe...especially green represents、this notion of you are new to this. And that probably is related to this issue that we have been talking about. ね、はい、ちょっとコメントいただいております。チャーランランさんね。Mongolian spots. スパーツって言ったらいいですね。マークとかスパーツがいいですね。often disappear spontaneously.by the age of 5 or 6, and it's not a problem ということです。はい。自然に消えると、spontaneously かな、naturally っていう感じですかね。they just disappear、naturally ですね。spontaneously だったらなんかこう、同時にみたいになってしまうのかな。はい。蒙古斑ね、Mongolian macula ってこれ専門用語でしょうか？ Is this a technical term?もう後半ね、こう漢字で書いていただいて、ひらがなも書いていただきました。ケツが青いという言い方をします。キムさんが、This is hard とね、言っております。難しいですかね。はい。次いきますよ。If you take Shinkansen from Tokyo to Osaka, okay, and you're using a non-reserved seat.You're using a ticket for non-reserved seating ですね。The cost is ということで、これ I just checked on the internet a couple days ago when I prepared this test. はい。これは皆さんね、正解ということで、13,620 円です。ね。in English, how do you say this commaね、1、3ってあって、comma ってあるじゃないですか。In English, this is very useful for you guys if you're learning English. この最初の点のところを、this first、comma、thousand ですから、13と読んどいて、 13と読んどいて、今、the reason why I repeated when I said I didn't pronounce R, so I try to say that this time really clearly. 13. そして最初のカマは1000. 13,000. そしてその後は620なんですね。だから英語は結構このカマ has a meaning. I should say commas, plural. Commas have meaning, has a meaning, has meanings ですね。If it's the first one, 1000, the next one, million, ね。次が billion。日本語だったらね、関係ないですよね。これ13,620円です。in Japanese。ここ4つあったら、このね、1000で1万円ですから。But you have to kind of look at it and figure out, oh, even myself, when I look at Japanese prices, I kind of count, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1万円だと。If I see 4 zeros or 4 spots for numbers, I think automatically in my head, 1万円。はいはいはい。But it's kind of even hard for me. Harder. English is easier, actually. さあ、見てみましょう。お、パシフィックオーシャン、ありがとうございます。頑張っていただいております。ね、Thank you very much. And also, by the way, if you push as quick as you can, as quick as you can. はい、また、I repeated myself because the first time I said it, I said as fast, I meant to say as fast as you can, you get higher scores ですよ。Okay. 次行ってみましょう。Let me explain. ということでね、これクイズじゃないんですよ。This is not a test. Okay? This is not part of the test, but I wanted to explain. ちょっと説明したかったんですけど、And correct me if I'm wrong, Japanese people. よろしいですか？間違ってたら教えてくださいね。Because I just came back to Japan this March, and I lived in the US for about 30 years, so my understanding may be a little ちょっと not exactly correct. So when you use 新幹線、例えばこれ京都から博多って書いてありますよね。Okay, this is JR, okay? You want to take 新幹線 I think you get 2 tickets. The reason why the reason why I said I think is because last time I went to Tokyo, I feel like they gave me 1 ticket, but I got it at the reserve window a couple days earlier, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I think they give you 2 tickets, and you wonder why you get 2 tickets. ね。This is a good question. I haven't checked. 固定席はいくらですか ?If somebody can check this for us. 固定席というのは、reserved seat の場合ですね。ちょっと5000円ぐらい高いんじゃないのかな。ね Okay. 今ちょっとなんかものすごく顔が暗いですけど、別にいいですよね。Okay. The reason why you have 2 tickets is もう一回いきます。The reason why you have 2 tickets さっきなんか 2 tickets って言ってしまいました。なんか自分が英語喋っていて、なんか間違ったと思うのは言って耳に返ってきて、それがなんか頭があれちょっと違うよって言ってくれますね。なぜ2つチケットがあるかですけども、1つは乗車券と呼ばれておりますね。乗車券ね。乗車券。ね、この写真で言うと、下の方ですよね。下ですね。乗車券は、I don't know how to translate this exactly into English, but I think it's just a ride ticket or regular fare maybe. そしてもう一個、the other one is called 特急券。Okay? Express ticket ということで、特急というのは express trains ですね。ね、特に急いでるっていうことですか。特急券ね。で、乗車券っていうのは、it's like basic fare, and you would be paying this anyways if you were to take a regular train, just a regular local slow train. I should say slower train. ね、意味わかりますか？新幹線じゃなくて、普通の電車に乗るとき、if I'm going to Hakata from Kyoto, I would be paying this basic fare if I was taking a regular local train. Plus, if you want to take、新幹線、I should say. でも新幹線に乗るときは、このエクスプレスのあれを払うということで、That's why you have two tickets ね。ということです。そしてね、when you get into the station, the inside of the station, ね、the inside of the station, 二つのチケットを、あれ入れるんでしたっけ？ I forgot. I think so. 入るときは、I'm confused. Maybe when you get into the first part of how do you say? When you go in, you just show right ticket. Wait, I mean, I think you put two through the thing. Wait, and then when you actually go to the Shinkansen side, well, forget it. Forget what I was saying because I got confused. Anyway, you need two tickets, and this is very important, especially for me. Let's say, a couple of weeks ago, I went to Tokyo and I came back. Right, my express ticket said Tokyo to. No, this didn't happen when I went to Tokyo, but let's say I went to Osaka, I came back. I usually get off at Mihara. So my Shinkansen ticket, I will lose it when I get out of Mihara station, okay? But I still want to continue to my local station on JR, which is why I need the other ticket, the basic fare. So that's how it works, and that's why you have two tickets, because, okay. I hope that made sense. Let's go to the next one. これはダブルポイントということでね。In Japan, you drive on the right side of the road or left side of the road ということでいかがでしょうか。はい。これは、left side of the road なんですよ。はい。Freddie Kim pressed the wrong one ということで、はい。left side of the road です。And also, you have to also drive slightly towards the leftish side of the lane of your lane. 日本では、左側通行だけじゃなくて、そのレーンがありますよね。自分のレーン。In your lane, you are expected to drive. Did I say that correctly? You are expected to drive towards the leftish side of the lane. というふうに、それが基本なんですよ。はい。Which I didn't know because in the US you just drive exactly in the center of the lane. なんですけど、日本はちょっと左側に寄ってくださいということで。But that's like a kind of official correct way of driving. If you have to take a driving test, that's what you are expected to do. なぜかというと、the reason, okay, Japanese roads are kind of narrow, tiny. So almost always you have one lane, or half the time in countryside, almost always in the countryside, your lane, and you have the opposing traffic exactly right next to you on the right side. So it's kind of dangerous to be driving exactly in the center because, so you kind of want to go to the left side of the lane that you're driving, on which you are driving の方がいいんですかね。Okay? というわけで、はい、細かいこと言ってしまいました。次行きましょう。はい。日本人の方が少しね、できましたが、外国人の方がですね、間違ってしまいました。次行きましょう。Alright, we say, Japan in two different ways. Which combo is correct? Did I say this correctly? So we think of Japan in terms of two parts, usually. especially when we talk about like cultural differences or like weather maybe. どうでしょうか？wait. I'm sorry. I was completely saying something different. 失礼しました。なんか今コメントしてたのは違う問題に関してのものでした。I'm sorry, forget what I just said. I was just talking about, I was thinking that I was asking the other question that I created. But this one is simply, we say Japan in two different ways. 答えは日本っていう時と日本という時があります。漢字は同じです。We use the same characters, Chinese characters ですよ。はい。Okay, everybody got this correct. Okay. これ、okay. In Japan, when you enter someone's house, you have to 赤はね、hesitate to enter for a couple of seconds. あるいは quickly enter without any delay. Chat for a minute at the entrance area. 答えはですね、1番 hesitate to enter for a couple of seconds. But I realize chat for a minute at the entrance area could be correct kind of. So this is not a good test item. I have to fix this. 日本でなんかお客さんとして人の家に行った時に、人の家 means someone's house. 人の家 people's house, someone's house. 入る時にスッと入ったらダメみたいなね。なんかこうゆっくり入るんです。what would you say when you enter someone's house? よろしくお願いしますとか、ごめんください。You go in and you kind of hesitate. Hey, blah, 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 blah. ちょっと hesitate. ね。It's not like chat for a minute, maybe chat for a second. And you kind of hesitate to show kind of your humbleness and you're kind of, you want to appear a little like hesitating to be abrupt and like entering and kind of violating your private space is how we feel about entering someone's house. So you want to kind of hesitate. よろしいですかみたいな。ね。I think so. Okay. Okay, next. アトランティックオーシャンのね、C さんがジョインしていただいております。Thank you. Okay, he has to go. Freddie Kim has to go. Sure, that's... sorry. You wrote this as an example of what you would say. 日本人の皆さん答えてあげていただきたいと思います。ちょっと失礼します。失礼します would be good. ちょっと but you are kind of spending time, so maybe ちょっと is a little too short. 多分ね。お邪魔しますがいいですよね。お邪魔しますね。はい、お邪魔しますっていう感じですね。Alright. Japanese people tend to classify Japan into これがね、this is what I was saying earlier for the other question about how do we call Japan? But this one is what I really meant to say or make a comment. Japanese people tend to classify Japan into Southern の N が抜けている。I have to fix that. Southern ですね。答えは West Japan and East Japan です。When I said this to somebody, I feel like sometimes people say, 南と北じゃないのってちょっと結構びっくりしてた人がいたんですけど、はい。We tend to think of Japan as West and East. となると、沖縄も East ですよ。じゃねえわ、West ですよね。ただ、the boundary, exactly where West Japan becomes East Japan or East Japan becomes West Japan is not super clear ということで、はい。ケリーさんありがとうございます。Thanks for watching from the US. ありがとうございます。I really appreciate you watching this. And yeah, please test your knowledge. はい、ケリーさんがアトランティックサイド代表としてジョインしていただいているのかもしれないですね。Thank you. Because you are on the right side of the US. というわけで、West Japan versus East Japan の definition は it's kind of debatable. But electric voltage, like 50V versus, I don't know, 55V or something like that is different in two parts of Japan, in the two parts of Japan, like West versus East. I kind of corrected myself. If I say, this is different in two parts of Japan, then you don't know which parts of Japan I'm talking about. What I meant was this side and the other side, and that's all. So I think I should say the two parts of Japan. Am I right about this? But culturally, West Japan versus East Japan, it's not super clear. 例えば名古屋、ね、愛知県。Is it West Japan, East Japan? I'm not sure. So, ね、JR がね、JR がどこで変わるかっていうのもあると思いますね。はい。Oh, another thing I want to mention is that my wife and I were in Aomori, the northern tip of Japan. We were touring in a bus, and the bus guide said, "How many of you are from Kansai?" Okay, Kansai is, if you know, Kansai is, I guess, West Japan. I didn't raise my hand because for us people living in Hiroshima, we don't think of us as part of Kansai. We think of ourselves as part of Nishi-Nihon, West Japan. But people living in East Japan think the entire West region is called Kansai. So that's kind of confusing to me. And I didn't raise my hand when she asked us, so how many of you are from Kansai? Because for us, Kansai sounds like it's Osaka, Kyoto, that general region of the central part of Japan is, how we feel. Okay, let's go to the next question. はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Obviously, Japanese people are winning, but you guys are almost like observers. And but I still wanted you to be part of this. Okay. When lining up at school gatherings, students line up by the order of この英語大丈夫ですかね This English. By the order of height, student ID, names. あいうえお順っていうのがありましてですね。Just like similar to alphabetical order that we would use in the West. はい。これはですね、height ですね。はい。Also by gender, you make lines per each class, homeroom class, girls line, boys line, and then you kind of line up by the order of height. And this is not really great for people who are short, but also it's super bad for people who are born later than other kids. For example, I was born in February, and Japanese school starts in April and then ends in March. Because I was born in February, I was younger than the rest of students. So even though I ended up having the average typical height for my generation, I was always shorter than other kids who were born earlier than me. 早生まれって言うんですよ。早生まれ、皆さんちょっと書いといていただきたいんですけど、私自身書いてみますね。早生まれっていうのがあって、early 早いっていうのは early って言います。おはようございますのおはよう、that part 早っていうのは early ですよ。生まれっていうのは to be born ですよね。早生まれということで。で、this word is kind of confusing because I think I am a 早生まれ, but I was born in February. So it feels like I should call myself a late 遅生まれ。でも、in terms of the calendar year, if you think of calendar year, February is 早い early part of the still early part of the year. So we still call ourselves 早生まれ, but people who are 早生まれ, like January, February, March, we are all 早生まれ, and then we kind of tend to grow slower than other kids. That's not exactly right. We are always younger than the rest of classmates. Okay. But by the time you become adults, I should say, by the time you become an adult, you could end up, just achieving the average height or even above, right? はい。でも日本って、なんか日本人の、女の子っていうか、背が高い人が好きっていうのがあるんですよ。in Japan, girls usually like, if they like boys, 背が高い人が好きっていうのがあって、あの、はい。背が低いとね、モテないんですよね。Is this right universally outside of Japan? If you are not tall, if you are short, you're not popular. というわけで。あれ、今なんか、顔が暗く映ってます。まあいいですよね、別にね。私の顔見てもらってるわけじゃないですからね。Okay? 次行ってみたいと思う。Anyway, to go back to what I was saying, in Japan, I feel like, especially when you are in school, 背が高い人がモテるんですよね、これね。はい。これはものすごく困るんですよ。というのは、早生まれの人は背が低いんで、まだ。するとモテない。はい。And I want to know if it's the same in other parts of the world. 男子のモテるっていうのが、背っていうのはやっぱり関係してますよね。関係してるんですかね。はい。Okay. はい。Japanese people are still ね、1番で Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean。でも、Atlantic Ocean さっきね、he just joined us, so. あ、えーっと、まあ、女子男子でね、走るのが速い人が好きということだね。はい。僕いつも思うんですけどね、男子女子って言った時にこの LGBTQ の人たちもいるんで、あんまり男子だから女子が好きだとか、女子だから男子が好きだと決めつけたくないんですけれども、というね、この General Conversation の中で、男子女子というふうに分けてみました。アメリカでは同学年は9月生まれから8月生まれになりますかということで、this is a good question. In America, so you would be in the same class or in the same cohort if you are born from September to August. Maybe this is a good question for Carrie, but I would think so. Yes, I would think so, but I'm not exactly sure. And also there's some leeway. 結構ね、このあたりはグレーで親が決めてもいい感じですね。I think in the US especially, if your kid is born in the kind of months around the beginning or the end of the school year, your parents may say, わざと遅らすとかね。On purpose, you can delay your kids entering the school to think of advantages and stuff, I think. ね。はい。アメリカでもやっぱりね、背が高い人がポピュラーだということです。はい。and other males. なるほど。はい。ね。Thank you. Alright, in Japan, wet towels are dry up due to the climate quality と書いてみました。これはね、どうでしょうか。Okay, so yes, hard to dry. This is what I noticed immediately when I came back to Japan. お風呂、ね、シャワーとかして、体をタオルで拭いて、アメリカだったら、if in America where I lived, ちょっと置いといたら乾く。It dries up easily. Maybe, ね。すいません。ケリー先生ね、学校の先生されていますけども、October is the cut-off birth date ということで、cut-off というのはそこから切るっていうことですよ。cut-off birth date ね。10月だそうです。 Kim, in Korea, the semester starts at March and ends in the next year's February. あれちょっと違うんですね。Slightly different than. 日本だと4月ですけどね。ありがとうございました。I didn't know this. Thank you. That's a great comment. 当たり前に韓国も日本も同じだろうと思い込んでおりました。ね。はい、なんか今日、ちょっと明るくしてみますね。失礼しました。ちょっと今、窓を開けて、あんまり変わりませんでした。Okay, anyway. So, なんかね、乾かないんですよ、日本。In Japan, I use a towel, let's say in the morning, and I come back and if I want to use it later in the day, 夜とか、なんか濡れたまま stays wet. で、I think it's because there's a lot of water in the air. なんか、なんて言うんでしたっけ humid. ね。だからじゃないかなと思うんですけど。はい。で、in Japan, you change towels every day, I think. maybe 外国人の人知らないかもしれないんですけど、in Japan, I think a lot of people change towels every day. 多分それはね、乾かないからっていうのも理由もあると思うんですけども。でもアメリカだったら、タオルは1週間ずっとぐらい使うと思うんです。You would use in America the same towel after you take a shower for at least like 5 days, maybe 4, 5, 6 days. And I have a story to tell. A long time ago, when I was around the age 20, I had a friend who was doing a homestay in California. 僕の友達がホームステイしていて、日本人でね、毎日タオルを、he was using the towel every day, and then he would throw it into the laundry basket. 日本でするみ、just like he would do in Japan. そしたらホームステイマンの人が、don't do that って言って言われたそうです。はい、以上です。Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. In Japan, we go to school for how many years at each level? ということで、小学校、中学校、高校でね。543, 543? 633, 6 years, 3 years, 3 years? Or 444? どれでしょうか？これは国によって違うと思うんですけどね。これはね、633です。6年間、ね、小学校。3年間、中学校。3年間、高校です。で、高校は試験がある。You have to take the entrance exam to go to high school. Okay? はい。パシフィックオーシャンさん、アトランティックオーシャンさんね。はい。ダブルポイントってことでね。Which of the following uses soy? Choose two ということで、味噌スープ、豆腐、大根、ピコルズ、たこ焼きということで。ちょっとこれも今考えたら、2個、ね、選んでいただきたいんですけども。はい、これは味噌スープ and 豆腐が、ソイを使っているということですが、たこ焼き actually, if you think of たこ焼きソース、たこ焼きに塗るソースってあれ多分醤油が入ってるから、これもちょっと答えになるかもしれないですよね。Yeah, I have to fix this quiz、next time. はい、これ、どうでしょうか。はい。日本の人だけがあったって感じになっておりますけども、次行ってみたいと思います。ちょっとコメントで、US school year is typically August through May. We change bath in towels daily. バスタオル毎日なんですね。Growing up, we changed towels every 3 days. はい。育ってる時には3日、every 3 days というのは皆さん、3日ごとっていうことですよ。every 3 days で3日ごとという英語の表現です。ね、こういうのも覚えておいてください。Thanks for your comment, Carrie. 次いきますね。最後の問題です。This is the final question. Double point. How does a dog bark in Japan? ということで、1番、バウワウ。 うおワンワンということでね、適当に考えました。I made these things up, except for one. どうでしょうか。これはですね、ワンワンなんですよ。英語だと、in English, I think they go woof, woof, W-U-F.Also bow wow, which is what I learned in school. But I feel like in English, どうでしょうか ?in English, woof, woof だったと思うんですけど、W-U-F, W-U-F. bow wow かもしれない。ワンワンというふうになります。ね。というわけで、today's result, Atlantic Ocean side, okay, and Pacific Ocean side, and obviously, ね、Japanese people as observers ということで、ありがとうございました。So, what do you think about this game? 全然わからなかったのもあったでしょうか、ねはい。こんな感じで、Japan Trivia クイズというのをやってましたけども、if you have、any ideas for this、こんな、なんかコメントsorry, I'm mumbling、コメントとかありましたらまた教えてくださいね。今日はここまでで。That's all for today, and thanks for joining. And I want to say that I have a Discord group, if you can join me. I'm going to put the URL underneath this video. なんか最近ですね、since last week I started using it for a long time, even like 4 or 5 years. I should say maybe I made this group 5 years ago, but during the pandemic, I should say pandemic. I said during the pandemic, I wasn't really using it. But when I came back to it, 1000人以上参加していただいていたので、それで先週あたりからね。And I started using Discord, and many of you guys have joined me. And the reason why I started using it last week is because I realized, I have time to be part of this. Because I spent a lot of time in the train to get to work every morning. 50分, 50 minutes. On my way back, it's just 50 minutes. だから使えるんですよ。さらに、日本人の人がたくさんいるし、外国人の人もたくさんいるんで、なんかお互いに、助け合うことができます。So we have a lot of Japanese people in it. I should say on it, maybe, on it. 外国人の人もたくさんいるんで、お互いに協力して、言語を勉強してできるんじゃないかということでやっております。Okay. 玄関に入るときのが面白かった。ちょっとヘジテイトすると。You have to show some hesitation ですね。Is it okay? Can I come in? Blah, blah, blah. でもそうしたらね、one thing that's kind of、tricky is 蚊が入ってくるんですよ。Mosquitoes may come in.I noticed this when I was living in the US and Japanese guests arrive. They kind of hesitate around the door area. And then our dog kind of want to go outside. 犬がね、外に出ようとするんですよ。だから日本人のお客さんが来た時に、犬が逃げるっていうのがね、ちょっと困ったというか、はい。逃げるというか、外に行きたいのでね。Okay. Yeah, Freddie Kim, thank you very much for joining us, and you can join us next time too. このあたりで失礼します。Thank you very much, everybody. Take care, everybody. Bye.